At first glance, basketball might look like a wild game of players just running, dribbling, and shooting. But behind the action, there's a hidden battle of strategy. Every pass, every move, and every play is carefully planned. Coaches and players are constantly thinking, adjusting, and outsmarting the other team. Want to know the secrets behind the game? Let's make basketball easy and break it all down. Basic basketball skills breakdown. Basketball isn't just about getting the ball through the hoop. It's a game of skill, speed, and strategy. If you want to play like a pro, you need to master the fundamentals first. Every great player, from street ball legends to NBA superstars, started with the same basics. Whether you're dribbling down the court, taking a game-winning shot, or shutting down an opponent, your skill set determines how well you perform. If you're ready to take your game to the next level, let's break down the essential skills that separate good players from great ones. Starting with dribbling is the heart of basketball. Without it, you're just standing still while the defense swarms you like bees around honey. Good dribbling lets you control the ball, escape defenders, and create scoring opportunities. The best ball handlers don't just bounce the ball. They keep it close, use their fingertips for control, and change speeds to throw defenders off balance. And Curry don't just fire shots randomly. They master their range, stay balanced, and follow through every time. Free throws are just as important because they can change the outcome of a game. When the pressure is on and seconds are left on the clock, your shooting practice will make all the difference. But basketball isn't a solo game. It's a team sport, and passing is what keeps the game moving. A player who can pass, well, makes their teammates better. Ever seen a no-look pass from Magic Johnson or a pinpoint assist from LeBron James? That's the power of great passing. Whether it's a quick chest pass, a sneaky bounce pass, or a long overhead pass, moving the ball efficiently creates scoring chances and keeps defenses guessing. A smart passer is just as valuable as a great shooter. Now, let's talk about rebounding, the skill that gives teams second chances to score. It's not just about jumping high, it's about positioning and hustle. Dennis Rodman dominated the boards by anticipating where the ball would land and boxing out opponents. The best rebounders fight for every missed shot and understand that effort often matters more than size. Defense wins championships, and if you don't believe that, just ask any coach. A strong defender can shut down opponents, steal the ball, and change a game's momentum. Elite defenders like Kawhi Leonard and Gary Payton mastered footwork, stayed low in a defensive stance, and anticipated their opponent's next move. A great defender doesn't just react, they predict what's coming. But having skills isn't enough if you don't have the stamina to use them. The game is fast-paced, and if you're exhausted after a few minutes, you'll struggle. Conditioning through running, strength training, and agility drills keeps players quick and explosive. The best athletes don't just work on their skills, they train their bodies to last through the final buzzer. Speaking of movement, footwork is the secret weapon that makes everything in basketball easier. Good footwork helps players stay balanced, move efficiently, and avoid costly mistakes. Whether it's a spin move, a pivot, or a quick jump stop, great footwork allows players to stay in control. It might not always be flashy, but it's the foundation of elite play. Then there's ball handling, an essential skill that goes beyond just dribbling. A great ball handler can protect the ball under pressure, execute plays smoothly, and dictate the pace of the game. The best players don't panic when double-teamed. They stay composed, use their bodies to shield the ball, and make smart decisions. Chris Paul and Steve Nash showed that precision and control matter just as much as speed. But none of these skills matter if you don't know what's happening on the court. Court awareness is what separates elite players from the rest. The best players always know where their teammates and opponents are, allowing them to make quick, smart decisions. LeBron James seems to make the perfect pass every time because he sees plays before they happen. If you want to play smarter, start paying attention to everything happening on the court. And finally, basketball isn't just about skill, it's about teamwork. The greatest players don't just focus on themselves, they elevate their teammates and play unselfishly. Trust, communication, and understanding of each player's role turn a group of individuals into a winning team. Watch any championship squad, and you'll see players working together, passing with purpose, and supporting each other. No matter how skilled you are, you'll never reach your full potential without teamwork. Basketball tactics and strategy. But what happens when both teams are equally skilled? That's where tactics come in. Talent alone isn't enough. You need a game plan. Every great team has a strategy, a way of playing that maximizes their strengths and exposes the opponent's weaknesses. Without a solid strategy, even the most talented players can struggle to win. A basketball game is like a chess match. Every move matters. Teams don't just run up and down the court randomly. They've set plays and defensive schemes to outsmart their opponents. On offense, players work together to create open shots, while on defense, they try to shut down their opponent's best scorers. Understanding these tactics can make all the difference between victory and defeat. Let's start with defense, because stopping your opponent from scoring is just as important as making shots yourself. One of the most common defensive strategies is man-to-man defense, where each player is assigned a specific opponent to guard. The goal is simple: don't let your man score. This requires speed, awareness, and constant movement. Players must anticipate their opponent's moves and stay in front of them at all times. But sometimes man-to-man defense isn't enough. That's where zone defense comes in. Instead of guarding a specific player, defenders are responsible for covering certain areas on the court. This makes it harder for the offense to drive to the basket and forces them to take more difficult shots. Zone defense is especially useful against teams with one dominant scorer because it allows defenders to collapse on that player and limit their impact. And then there's the hybrid approach, box-and-one defense. This is used when one player on the opposing team is so good that they demand extra attention. In this strategy, for defenders play zone defense while one player guards the star player man-to-man. It's a risky move, but when executed correctly, it can shut down even the best scorers in the game. Of course, defense alone won't win games. You also need a strong offense, and there are different ways to attack. Some teams prefer a fast break, a high-speed approach where players race down the court to score before the defense has time to set up. This strategy relies on quick passes and smart decision-making to create easy scoring opportunities. It's exciting to watch and can overwhelm slower teams. But when a fast break isn't an option, teams rely on positional play, also known as half-court offense. In this setup, the offense carefully moves the ball around, looking for the best possible shot. Players set screens, cut to the basket, and make sharp passes to break down the defense. A well-executed half-court offense can make even the best defensive teams look helpless. One of the most famous offensive strategies is the pick and roll. It's simple but deadly effective. One offensive player sets a screen for the ball handler, blocking the defender and creating space for an open shot or a drive to the basket. If the defense collapses, the ball handler can pass to the screener, who rolls to the hoop for an easy bucket. This move has been used by some of the greatest players in basketball history. Another popular offensive system is the triangle offense, which emphasizes ball movement and spacing. 3 players form a triangle near the basket, constantly passing and cutting to confuse the defense. This strategy forces defenders to make quick decisions, often leading to open shots. It requires great teamwork and patience, but when executed properly, it's nearly impossible to stop. For teams that rely on speed and passing, the Princeton offense is a great option. Unlike traditional offenses, where big men stay near the basket, the Princeton offense pulls the center away from the hoop and spreads players out around the three-point line. This creates space in the paint and allows players to cut to the basket for easy layups. The constant movement keeps the defense guessing and opens up high-percentage scoring opportunities. Final thoughts. But here's the key. No matter which tactics a team uses, they only work if every player buys in. Strategy is useless without execution. Every defensive scheme requires effort, communication, and discipline. Every offensive play needs precise timing and teamwork. That's why great teams don't just practice shooting and dribbling. They spend hours perfecting their strategies. And in the end, that's what separates good teams from championship teams. Talent alone won't win games. The best teams are the ones that outthink their opponents, adapt to every situation, and execute their game plan flawlessly. They know when to push the tempo and when to slow things down. They know when to switch to just about skills. It's about strategy. And those who master both are the ones who truly dominate the game. If you enjoyed learning about basketball skills and strategy, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Stay tuned for more easy and fun basketball tips.